All right. Let's do this. That cannot. That can't be. There's no way. Boo, 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 boo. All right. So, I cannot believe that I do not have more sketch cards. So, I will need to order more later tonight. So, there is that. Some backwards. Need to order some watercolor cards. So my main style in art has really become horror based, right? So I wrote down a list somebody gave me of why do I have that? Ugh. Sorry. Of Pokemon to work on. So I am going to work on some Pokemon and make them probably more horrific than they need to. Start with this roly-poly little psycho. And the reason I am working on Pokemon cards is I got into a trading card show coming up in 2 weeks. Now, I started, or not I started, but I did a comic book show this past weekend, I should say. And it went pretty well. Majority of sales were involved in my actual work, right? Only one sale was a comic that like I hadn't produced. Sold some stickers, sold some of my books. Trying to like see if we have any where his mouth is like open. Yeah, he looks like a little deviant. So I guess those are ears. Anyways, I uh, did the comic book show and it went okay. Um, not tremendous, but I made more than my money back. So in a lot of ways, that's what you can, expect and ask for. And this crew has been doing um, card shows. Uh, they've already done two of them. And so I thought to myself, well, I have a bunch of trading cards. I have a bunch of sports cards that I'm not doing anything with. And I need to liquidate, right? Or just get rid of. So, like, super cheap, like two gigantic boxes of sports cards from back when I used to collect. And um, maybe some of the stuff in my binders, right? But they've been doing these trading card shows. So I'm like, well, I can get those done. Plus, I am, I've got all my sketch cards and stuff. So, and then because people are really into Pokemon and One Piece, I can do some Pokemon and One Piece cards. I don't know if he's supposed to be furry, but then this is my interpretation, right? Hello. I might just do some of the sketching right now and then maybe later do the coloring because um, I don't have all my coloring stuff set up, right? I know a while back I drew a Pikachu in a potato costume, and there was all kinds of lightning coming out of the potato costume. Drew it for one of my friend's kids who was kind of sitting between him and his dad at an event that we were both at in terms of like doing sketches and selling comics and like raising money for charity and stuff like that. Is this not on shuffle? That's crazy. Okay. So I hope that trading card fans who show up like original artwork. Now, if Strawberry Pokemon Kira is any indicator, she has done a lot of art shows. She's also like does trading card shows and stuff. I don't think she really sells cards, but she's an artist and she will, I think she does like commissions and does fan art of Pokemon for sure, right? And she says she does pretty well. So I'm not going to do like prints because I'm trying to limit print artwork to just things that I am a fan of or more folklore, horror type scenarios. So more Latino and Chicano folklore. Um, and somebody might say like, "Oh, you got him wrong. Like he's not hairy." Again, my interpretation, and they're little monsters, so to me, monsters are usually big and scary, but they're also usually either hairy or slimy or scaly or bumpy. Or fleshy in some kind of way. They're usually not like smooth, right? But then maybe this will also give somebody the indication like, oh, I can commission him to do a piece. Like, let me see, like, what is his natural surroundings? Because I know their natural surroundings kind of dictate like environments, you know. And I see his evolution, like one of his evolutions, they look pretty crazy, right? There we go. They kind of look a little bit like lashes. It's like a weird song, right? Manic Monday, for those of you who have heard it. Song is all about not liking Mondays, right? And having, running late and oversleeping. But it's funny because one of the lines is, it's days like this you wish your bed was already made. I mean, I'm not shaming anybody, but who the hell still makes their bed? I sure as fuck don't. I make my bed when I do the laundry and I change the sheets and everything. But then like I'm essentially like, all right, I'm just gonna sleep in it again tonight. I know for some people it's just like it's a discipline. But I think since I moved out years and years ago, I don't think I've made my bed once. That's pretty crazy in my eyes. All right. So then we're going to add some speed lines. Gonna add speed lines. Speed lines always make the work pop. That can't be the only pens in there. That's not. There we go. So this weekend was interesting doing that comic book show. I had some books, with me, not a ton, but some books that were not like books that I created. Um, and had somebody who's, kind of a local celebrity, I guess, come into the show, and they were looking for comics, which, I mean, obviously, right? It's a comic book show. And they went up to every single table and they were looking through and they were talking to people and stuff like that. And didn't stop at my table, didn't acknowledge that I was even there, kind of thing. So I kind of flamed them on social media. Like, I didn't name names or anything, but it just kind of bothers me. Not kind of, it really bothers me when somebody who is in the comic book industry, like, looks down on others who, haven't gotten as far as they have. And a lot of that I kind of look at along with like professional wrestling ideas and ethics, because people are desperately trying to hold on to their spots. And it's very, very weird to me. Yeah. Like, it just seems strange that like creators don't really care about one another in that regard. It's bizarre. All right, guys, I am gonna go and fill up my little water thing, and we're gonna do some watercolor on this guy. I think he'll look good with some nice watercolor done. Hold on. Ooh, and we have, oh God, my hip's killing me. Why? All right. Like, don't have it set up, and it literally takes a few moments. So this is kind of like, these are my style of cards, right? More bold. But then I've got a couple that are more, horror inspired. I know this is Omega Red, but, horror inspired. Some of my favorite kaiju. Got a little sticker on there that it's like a security sticker. Okay, let's see here. But yeah, so, person comes in, kind of, just snubs me, doesn't acknowledge that I'm even there. I'm pretty sure, I'm almost positive that he did the same with another young creator who was there. And this cat, the other creator, is really like getting his feet wet, and he's a good guy. He's doing some small shows, and like a new creator, he's hitting some roadblocks. And I was talking to him a little bit about doing, you want to try to do some smaller events where you can definitely recoup your costs and hopefully make a profit, so that when you do decide to do a bigger event, if you don't make a profit, then you're okay, right? Like, because believe me, we are not always going to make a profit. Like, that is just a given. Like, sometimes it just doesn't happen. And that, I mean, that's never the goal, right? Your goal is, and kind of should be, to make money, right? I mean, if you're having fun with this, that's great. But it is, after all, a business. So you've got to plan accordingly. And you do eventually have to do some bigger shows if you want more exposure, if you want to get out there, if you want people to notice your work. So sometimes that means putting yourself at risk of losing money. It is unfortunate, but it is a truth. So part of that just really, it's discouraging, right? Because you want to do what you can to try to leave this industry better than you found it, as a creator, as a fan. Because I think that's part of this, right? We're fans. Why else would you get into making comic books if you weren't a fan of the medium, if you weren't a fan of storytelling and things like that, right? Because you ain't gonna get rich doing this. The only way you get rich doing it is if you work on a property, an independent creator-owned property that gets optioned and or picked up by a studio for TV or movies, and they pay you rights fees. And even then, you've got to be careful, because there's snakes in that grass too. Like, you work on something with partners and somebody suddenly is just like, oh no, you're not a creator in this, or they negotiate the contract on behalf of the team and they just take everything. It is something that is sadly really prevalent, and there's one big name creator who has done that repeatedly, with a couple of different big properties that have both gone to television. And supposedly he's kind of like cheated his creative partners out of funds. And I remember reading something about how he said with the first successful property going to television, he was just like, but these characters are just people, right? They're not superheroes. They didn't have to be designed, or they were wearing like tack suits or whatever. Like, they were simple. And it's like, yeah, that's not really how that works. Like, somebody worked on that with you. Like, they deserve part of that. But some people, it's very much like I said, like wrestling. People want to hold on to their spot, and they're not concerned with anything else, right? Well, I guess there's something to be said for being that A-type personality where you don't care if you step on people so long as you get yours, right? Get your shit in and then take off. Like it doesn't matter. But and one of the issues with like calling this person out is they are a majority shareholder in a local convention here. And so if they see that and take offense to it, I could effectively be kept from ever, being a guest at their show. I could, effectively be kept from, they use their influence to, keep me from appearing at other places because he's a much bigger name than I am. And there are people who are, petty and don't want to be called out and don't want to be showed up, and they're just out for themselves and they don't care about anybody else, and they will use that to try to hurt other people. I mean, he literally sued somebody into oblivion after infringing on their copyright, if not out and out stealing it. I don't know the ins and outs of that, but he got sued for copyright infringement, and at the time had a bigger legal team so he could countersue the person until they dropped the charges. Like, but, you know, we'll cross that bridge if we have to. Dustin, work. Are you working? Like, like you're just at lunch or on a break or something like that? Or are you at home? Oh, okay. Cool. Give him slightly yellow teeth, because he's a little monster. He would have slightly yellow teeth. I don't think they have toothbrushes. Yeah. All right. So that's That's a Gengar. We'll probably put some background into him. Little was one that had like ton of speed lines and like evil flames coming out. Maybe let's do that a little bit. Yeah, I got into the trading card show that Collector's Territory is doing in 2 weeks. And since a lot of people are fans of like One Piece and Pokemon, I thought I would do some Pokemon and some One Piece cards. I have a bunch of sports cards too that I'm just gonna try to like offload and be like, hey, you want all these sports cards? Just give me, X and you can take all of them, but you gotta take all of them. So I thought with my propensity for, doing horror and stuff like that, this would be a really good opportunity to like test my skill at doing Pokemon and in my style. Well, thank you. Hopefully other people like it. And knowing what people pay for some of their Pokemon cards, some of these will be relatively affordable. Me too. Me too. The show on Saturday, it went pretty well. I mean, sales could always, always, always be better. I'm never gonna turn away, higher sales or um, moving more product, but it went pretty well. You know, I almost tripled my investment or my table cost. There he is. So Gengar, we'll sign him when he gets a little more dry. So we got a Gengar. The list calls for Eevee, Gengar, Pikachu, Charizard, Umbreon, and Mimikyu. So let's see what a Mimikyu looks like. Oh, dang, that thing is. Okay, so it's like a Pikachu, but like scary Pikachu. Oh, dang. That'll be nice. How does it move though? Like, okay, so it's got like little ghost body and it kind of jumps all at once so it doesn't have like, okay. It's got no arms, it's got no legs. Okay. Give me a second here. So it's kind of like Pikachu meets who's the sack guy in um what do you call it? The like sack guy from like Nightmare Before Christmas. Wasn't there like a sack ghost guy? Okay. I kind of like him. He's like crazy eye guy. Boogie. Okay. I was going to say, I was pretty sure you'd know who it was. Wasn't there a guy that had like a sack body though? Oh yeah, no, Oogie Boogie did. That's right. Ah, sorry, forgot to turn my alarm off. I set a 6 o'clock alarm every day for in case I forget to give Grayson his nighttime meds. So it's just a reminder, and I usually have it turned off by now because I gave him his meds right afterwards. But I also don't typically um, go live this early, so. Because the G-Man, needs to take his meds. So he's kind of the type of character who almost doesn't need his lines erased, like the pencil lines. And I almost didn't spend that much money at the event, and kind of didn't because I had a book that was on hold. Um, but then, like a toy trade came in while I was there, and it was some Puppet Master, the little minifigs that come in the case, but the case was like badly beaten up. And I asked Tony about it, and he was just like, "I'll sell it to you for this." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." Because I'm gonna take them out anyways, right? Like, I don't care. Um, and one of the arms looked like it was kind of damaged, like not damaged, but it fell off, like it popped off. But he has like little interchangeable arms because it was Torch and um, Torch and Blade. So I was like, "What do you want for this?" It's only been 10 years since that movie came out. It's got to be 20, man. It's got to be 20. There's no way it's only been 10. Yeah, I mean, because they've come out with like 10 movies, so. Oh, yeah, gotcha. I wish they would do a. I would go and see Scream again in the theaters. I wish they would do a Scream uh, recount, anniversary. It's been 30 years. Sold my Ric Flair and my John Cena sketch cards that I drew years ago Pretty happy about that because it's 2 less cards and it's went to somebody who loves wrestling and and their mom is a Cena fan, so all right. See what kind of backgrounds this cat. It's like kind of a yeah, but like I wanted to stick with stuff that I was a fan of. And it's not that I'm not a fan of Cena, it's just that he's not like a big enough fandom for me to take the time to work on a piece that's going to try to capture people's like vision and imagination. Plus, I only have so much space, so people like the kaiju and the horror stuff for me. I think that really just fits more my style. It's kind of sad I didn't sell any of the my anime pieces. But that's all right. I still got them. Prints don't go bad. Wow, this is bleeding all over the place. Okay, so that one's no go. Maybe want to do definitely going to do one of all the Pokemon that I was suggested. The other reason I don't like just do all the fandoms, even if it's something that I do like, is like I don't want to be like trying to cash in that way, right? Like I think people can tell the difference of when you're actually a fan of something and when you're not. They can see the care that you take with, your art. And that's why I think like I feel like one-offs like these cards are appropriate because then you're getting some stuff out, and if somebody's just like, "Oh, I really like that. Can I get you to do um a specific, Pokemon that I really like?" And you'd be like, "Yeah, sure, cool." Or a bigger piece, or something like that. But kind of the thing with like artists is when you're doing prints, you're also investing initial capital in that, right? Like, because you have to pay to have the prints done. And if they don't sell, you're sitting on that. Okay. Next on the list, I did do an Eevee one time. That's right. So let's try an Umbreon. Okay. It's like a little Sphinx cat dog, Anubis kind of guy. I don't know, Dustin. Are you into Pokemon or? Let's see what this guy looks like in action. Let's see here. Okay, just need to get it's got circle. With that. Let's see. They have like a fierce look. Umbreon angry. That's cool. I've never been like a Pokemon fan. I know a number of people who are. One of my friends is a vendor. Like he sells Pokemon and other trading cards. He's also a One Piece fan. He wanted to meet Michaela Hoover at Phoenix, but he wasn't. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to. And she does the voice of Chopper in One Piece, the live action Netflix One Piece. And my friend Richard, who I think you've met, um, he's a Pokemon fan too. I don't know how long he's liked Pokemon. I suspect probably for a while. I don't know that I've ever actually played Pokemon. I've never played the card game, and I don't think I've played any of the video games, honestly. I have also never won a game of Magic. I'm pretty bad at that game. I have a I have a deck. It's not a bad deck. It's just um, hopefully people aren't like, how dare you draw them like this? Yeah, that's true. I mean, in a way, that's that's part of the community. It doesn't cost anything to join, right? To be a part of it, but if if you are looking to play, like, you do have to spend some money. But I mean, but there are ways to play Pokemon and play Magic without forking over, you know, hundreds or even thousands of dollars, right? Just like there's ways to be a comic book fan and not have to drop all kinds of money on like a first print original, um, facsimiles and trade paperbacks and reprints are perfectly acceptable. I mean, even if, let's say, you can afford, first prints of like really high end books and stuff like that, it doesn't mean that you're like wanting to shell out that kind of cash. Like, I think it's kind of just a status thing, right? To be able to say you have it. Some of it's goals, like you've wanted that book or that card or that John Cena autograph like you got, and so getting together the funds or, you know, budgeting and putting together, sacrificing to get it is part of that journey. And you can proudly display that. Is he an energy type Pokemon? I mean, his little rings glow. All right. But is that the one that I drew? Because I looked up Umbreon and he looks like this. I mean, he looks smooth, but he looks like this. The backyard. Or is that like his species, Jolteon? There we go. Nice thing about drawing a character who's mostly dark colors with some of these brights on here is that you can throw down the brights and then like draw around that, right? So is Umbreon an Eevee evolution though? Oh, okay. Cool. Thanks, man. I did not know that. Because I know they evolve, right? They like power up and stuff like that. But because Eevee's on my list of to draw as well. Oh yeah, I've heard of Vaporeon too, and Flareon. I don't know if I've heard of Jolteon though. Are those like the names of her evolutions, or are those just like the types of evolutions? Like the different levels for lightning type Pokemon? try to give her like the so if like is Flareon, Vaporeon, and Jolteon, are those the names of the characters she evolves into? Or is that like the level up? Kind of like level one, level two, level three kind of thing? I mean, if you know. If it didn't make sense, I'm sorry. So are is Flareon, Vaporeon, and Jolteon, are those the stones? I'm gonna have somebody jump into the chat and be like, "You shouldn't be drawing these if you don't know." They might be right. Evolutions. Oh, okay. So it is the like the next level of her evolution, but it's also the name. Gotcha. Okay. Okay, cool. Thank you. Helps to have somebody who knows what they're talking about in the chat. Oh, no, I just meant like, okay, this is, are we calling it a level like, so it's the actual evolution. I get it now. See, I could put some... Like, I'm wondering if yellow around her would be a good point or a good... because I don't have a... like a yellow gel pen. I have my like paint pens, and I don't know if that would necessarily pop it. I have not. They repair all kinds of shoes or just certain kinds of shoes? That's cool. I have not seen that. I don't know if I should attempt doing a is her power up as Umbreon, is it yellow? Like if she had an aura emitting from her, would it be yellow, you think? All right, we're going to see how this goes. I think that looks pretty good. Umbreon. All right. So we're going to sign the Gengar. Sign the Mimikyu. I think we can probably safely sign the Cool. All right. All right. So let's do Charizard. So Charizard is Charmander, right? An evolution of Charmander. He's got a flaming tail. Two American kids growing up in the hot land. Cuckoo. All right. Give me a second while I look at this reference. And he would be what? A fire type Pokemon? Cool. So is Pikachu a lightning type, or is he like an electricity type, or is that even a thing? Pikachu is lightning. Gotcha. He's got trace fingers. I think the only thing I really remember of Pokemon that I saw was like the end of the very first movie where they're all beating up different versions of themselves and like Pikachu's just slapping the shit out of himself. And then there's God, what was the one that was like more like a mental type, and like every time it would hit the other one, it would feel the pain. Oh wait, that wouldn't be coming out of his neck, would it? Those would be coming out of his back. There we go. Hi. Let's ink this sucker. I remember uh, close to 20 years ago when I was house sitting for my sister. No, close to 30 years ago. Jesus. Um, um, Almost every night I would get a large or extra large pizza from Blackjack, and I would snarf that down. Although that wasn't far from what happened at Phoenix in terms of like eating almost a whole large pizza. Kind of like the way this one's turning out too. You know, it's kind of nice drawing something else, something different as well, right? Does he have chubby arms or skinny arms? Eh, they kind of start out chubby. Dustin, your future as my friend depends on your answer to this question. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no? And I'm just kidding. It doesn't. Dustin, are you purposely avoiding the question of the validity of pineapple on pizza? Anybody else who's watching can also chime in. Oh, Dustin. I'm going to go fill up. Do I got to fill up all of these? No, not that one. All right, I'll be right back. I always forget you and I are the same age. You're like, when I was younger, I'm like what, 3 years ago? Oh, I kind of like that one. All right. I thought pineapple on pizza was weird before I tried it. And once I tried it, it's friggin' delicious. What? Okay, so he's got green underwing. This might be my last card for tonight. I'm getting almost like 4 cards done in 2 hours, I think is pretty good. trying to think of what I'm going to make for dinner. And his belly, what color is his belly? Is orange or is yellow? One thing I forgot was his tail, which is kind of a big component because of the flame, but there we go. Eye color. Fucking hell is his eye color? You got a lot of powers. That reminds me when I used to work in a day program for the state for adults with developmental disabilities. And I forget what we were doing. I think we were out for a walk one day, like after lunch. And one of my clients, just every once in a while, he liked to do a little spin. He would twirl. And there was a kid like on the same walking path that we were on. And she was like, what's he doing? And her mom was like, he's twirling. And she's like, why? She's Mom's like, without missing a beat, was just like, because it's fun. And I forget if the little girl like actually did any twirling or not. But some days when I do miss working with adults with developmental disabilities, like there was something special about that job. It was hard and it didn't pay shit, but you knew that you were doing some good work, right? Like you were helping people. Sometimes I question that about what I'm doing now. Like, am I really making that much of a difference? Like, all right. I think call Charizard. Give me a second. See if we can add some little pop to him. It's not a super big pop, but oh, there we go. Just kind of gotta layer it. listen to music while I do this, and I've got it on my what I call my manic happy mix, because it's like just songs that I really, really enjoy. And like coming across like some of these tracks from like movies that I definitely probably shouldn't have seen as a kid. There we go. Charizard. All right, let's sign this bad boy. All right. So we have Charizard. We have Umbreon. We have Mimikyu. And the first one I did, Gengar. All right, guys, that is going to do it for today. I'm probably going to be back a couple more times this week just to get a couple more cards done. Again, I need to do some more Pokemon and One Piece cards for an upcoming card show on the 27th. And then I kind of need to sort through some trading cards as well. So hope you guys have a good night. Take care, and probably see you tomorrow, maybe a little bit later, just because I want to try to get some gym time in as well. Night.